Hey everybody, welcome to the 2012 Fast Action Series Volume 2. Trucking along good here. The purpose of the videos, of course, is so that we can get something done in 2012. I learned in Evan Pagan's program, Wake Up Productive, that there's success is really feeling good on the inside and getting stuff done on the outside. If you're not getting anything done, it doesn't matter what else that you're doing, you won't feel good about yourself. And Tim Ferriss kind of gets into that existential side of things in his blog and in some of his books, 4-Hour Workweek and stuff like that. But in this video, we're going to be talking about setting goals. And I don't like talking about setting goals because it's been done to death. You're going to hear a lot of stuff that you've already heard in this video about 100 times. But maybe you didn't do it, maybe you didn't like it, maybe it didn't get set into motion, it just didn't motivate you. Whatever happened, you're probably going to hear a lot of stuff that you already know. But I am going to give you some wild stuff that's taken me years to learn and that you probably don't already know. So let's get started. First off, I want to tell you that there are 3 different main means of setting goals. There's 3 different types of setting goals. But they all require a goal to be set. If you don't like setting goals, I would recommend that you check out a book called Stop Setting Goals If You'd Rather Solve Problems. And I'll put a link to it down below. That's a wonderful little book, or so I've heard. And like 50% of us don't like setting goals, so they just think of it as a different way. Say you set normal people set a goal of, say, losing 10 pounds, and so they have to set all these little miniature goals. I need to go to the gym 3 times a week, and I need to get a diet, and I need to find some way to stick to a diet, and all this kind of stuff. But other people look at it as a way of solving problems. I need to solve the problem of how do I lose 10 pounds? But I need to solve other miniature problems of how do I get myself to go to the gym 3 times a week? How do I get myself to get on a diet? How do I get myself to stick to a diet the whole time required to lose 10 pounds? There's all these little problems. And I actually think that that's a little bit better way to think about it. Like, there's a car sitting in your yard for a while because you live in that kind of a place. And so you're trying to figure out how to fix the car. Well, there's a whole bunch of problems I need to solve. You know, I need to fix the flat tires first. You know, that's the easiest thing. See whether or not it starts. You know, check the oil and everything. Make sure that the fluid levels are right. See whether or not the gas has grown mold in it or expired or something. See whether or not that's still good. Figure out, you know, how this thing works or this thing works. Make sure there's no hornet's nests in it, that kind of thing. There's all these little problems you need to solve, but it's a good way to get the car running again if it's not completely trashed. So, I actually think that's a better way of thinking about things. Third thing is inevitability thinking. We do need to combine all these 3 together, by the way, but remember that there's still a goal that needs to be set. Inevitability thinking is very powerful, and I suggest that you take a note of it. Inevitability thinking means I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. How do I get myself to do it? So what you think of is like, I'm going to get an accountability partner, and I'm going to text them 3 times a week. And if they don't receive a text from me saying that I went to the gym 3 times a week, I have to fork over 20 bucks. So you have to choose between lying to somebody, going to the gym, or giving them 20 bucks. And 60 bucks a week should hurt most people's wallets enough to get them off their butt and going to the gym. You're only trying to get over the little hump here. So there's a hump that I'm talking about, and it's right here. This thing is something that I learned in Evan Pagan's program, Wake Up Productive. It's incredibly powerful, and you're probably going to need to pause the video and take down, try to reproduce the drawing that I've got right here, take down the notes, because this will help you out more than anything else I can teach you. So here we go. This is a habit that is being formed. The first 10 days, I mean, whenever you go to the gym, the first day or two, you've got motivation, but that quickly runs out as soon as soreness kicks in. So suddenly you have to do something about it, and you have to force yourself to go to the gym, and most people quit right there. As you can see, you start the habits right here, and then it goes almost straight up in terms of resistance. And you get into a stage, the first 10 days is called defiance. Everything about you, your emotions, your body, your feelings, your thoughts, everything is working against you, starting this new habit, this new routine. And then the second 10 days is resistance. Maybe the first 30 minutes of the workout sucks, but the next 30 minutes you kind of get into the groove and you're okay. But you have to get yourself past it. So that's the second 10 days. Last 10 days is called acclimation. Maybe just the first 5 minutes sucks, and then you can get into the workout and you can get through it. But you have to really fight through that first 5 minutes. But then here at the top is the tipping point. It takes about 30 days to get to that point, but the tipping point, as you can see, it falls off sharply after that. You actually become being pulled into the habit at the tipping point, and you can start doing the habit regularly. You actually don't feel normal unless you do whatever you're trying to do. There's lots of stories about prisoners who don't feel right unless they do some push-ups before they leave their cell. Well, this is what we're talking about here, trying to get it to the point where you don't feel right if you don't do it. Imagine what would happen in your life if you don't feel right being on a diet that gives you health and energy. Just imagine just having the energy all the time, so you don't have to drink 9 energy drinks a day, or sodas every day, or coffee every day to kind of boost yourself up. Just imagine having the energy all the time, what that would do to your life. Never mind losing 10 pounds or making a major bodily change. Just having the regular, not feeling right unless you work out. Well, I will tell you exactly what this can do for your life. I had a friend whose father was a smoker, and he wanted to stop smoking. But he decided, instead of just trying cold turkey or any of the other methods, he tried to replace the habit. So every time he'd get the urge to smoke, he would drop down and do some push-ups, and that worked for him because he got the endorphins from exercising going, and it kind of replaced him. It was hard at first, but he stuck to it. So he started doing push-ups instead of smoking, and eventually he carried around he bought some adjustable weights and carried a backpack with him wherever he went, and nobody knew why, until he got an urge to start smoking. And then no matter where he was, at his job, at work, wherever he was, he would start working out with the weights in front of everybody. He didn't care what anybody thought. So after that, he saved some more money, got on a really good diet, and then started buying supplements and everything. Well, he became a competitive natural bodybuilder. And he actually started going to competitions and won some money at some point in time. So that's the kind of stuff that can happen to you if you just start this habit and become pulled into it. It becomes the normal thing. So that's what we're aiming for here. So we got to talk about setting goals real quick. Setting goals, whenever you set goals, you have to set goals right. First off, set a huge goal. Whenever you shoot for the sky, you land on a cloud, right? So set a huge goal. It has to be believable, but set a huge goal. There was a story on The Secret, the DVD, that was told by the guy who made the Chicken Soup for a Blank Soul series. He made that series way back when, that book series, and he was talking about whenever he first made it, and his mentor told him to set a goal that was so big that if he accomplished it, it would mean that he only did it through his mentor's methods, because otherwise it would be a miracle or a victim of happenstance. So he set a goal to make $1 million in 1 year. Well, the point of the story is that he didn't make $1 million in 1 year. He made something like $950,000 that year. But did he scrap the method and be like, no, there's no way, this stuff doesn't work? No, he made $950,000. It's $50,000 away from $1 million. So he made that huge amount and everything. And then later on, he eventually did make $1 million a year and just continually make more and more and more money every year from his book series and everything. If you shoot for a sky, you will land on a cloud. I personally know people. I know that people will lose like 35 pounds a week on The Biggest Loser. So you can't really set a goal that's high enough. They'll lose like 35 pounds a week. Sometimes later on in the competition, they'll lose 15 or more pounds a week. Just because they changed something in their diet, they tried something real quick, they went home for a week or something, really stuck to it, or it just became really competitive because there's only like 4 or 5 contestants left, and then suddenly they whip out like a 16-pounder out of nowhere. So even later on in the competition, not the water weight at the beginning, later on in the competition, they'll drop like 16, 20 pounds a week. I personally know people that have lost over 100 pounds just doing Dance Dance Revolution in a nice diet. So you really can't set a goal high enough. You probably can't lose 200 pounds in a year, but 100 pounds is absolutely attainable. And if you lose 90 pounds, that's huge. So set a goal that's really high. Shoot for the skies, land on a cloud. So the second thing is set SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. I can't really expand on those fully, but specific. I want to lose 100 pounds. Very specific. Not, I want to get skinnier. I want to lose weight. No, I want to lose 100 pounds. Measurable. You get on the scale before, you get on the scale after. What are the results? You can measure that easily. You get on a scale. Action-oriented. You have to do something to lose 100 pounds. Not like, I want to be skinnier. You can't be skinnier. That's not an action-oriented goal. Realistic. Realistic is 100 pounds. Realistic is 150 pounds. There's the story of the guy who wrote a check to the Nazi Foundation. It was some Nazi support group, and he wrote a check to it that was like his entire year's salary. And if he didn't lose 100 pounds in that year, they were going to cash that check. Well, he lost over 100 pounds, and the Nazi Foundation didn't get his whole year's salary. That was a great little thing. Realistic is 100 pounds, 150 pounds, and time-bound. You have the entirety of 2012 to accomplish your goal. So go ahead and set those goals. Hopefully you've already taken the actions on the first video. Hopefully you've already gotten the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, or at least taken the small action steps, taken a notebook into the local library and written down what needs to be written down in less than an hour, had like a general life plan. Hopefully you've already taken action on the first video, but go out there, set some really huge goals, and then come back for the third video in this series of the 2012 Fast Action series. So I'll see you then.